Good day, this is Mike Espiritu, and I'm here to talk about the WeWork financial scandal. I am currently enrolled in finance in University of North America, and this will be my report. So let's talk about introduction first. WeWork Financial was a shared workspace company founded in 2010 by Adam Newman and Miguel McKelvey. So this is a partnership between these two. And a workspace company is basically a company that offers office spaces or workspaces for a lot of companies. And this was headquartered in New York City, so you could imagine how this is actually a good idea for a business. It was a valuable startup business in the world with a valuation of over $47 billion last 2019. And we will talk about later how this was very unrealistic. And then because of strange behavior, this made this financial scandal was really popular because of what was happening during this startup and how it was being questioned by a lot of people during its operation. It also ultimately forced to withdraw its IPO or initial public offering in the year 2019, and we will see why that happened later. And also the wife of Adam Newman, just another information is she was a really bad manager and she was firing employees just because they had a bad vibe and bringing bad atmosphere inside the workspace. So let's talk about characters. So who is Adam Newman? Adam Newman is the main character from this story or the financial scandal because he is the owner and founder of the startup WeWork company. And he is an Israeli American entrepreneur, but he lived most of his life in America. He he already had experience with entrepreneur. So whenever whenever he presented his startup business to the world or to the people, to the board of directors, to potential investors, he was very charismatic. He was very smart. He was very passionate that people actually wanted, like majority of the people that were in there wanted to be involved in this startup business, not realizing the potential downfall and problems that could happen during the operation. Next is Miguel McKelvey. He's the co-owner and the former CCO or Chief Cultural Officer of the WeWork company. He is an American businessman, and him and Adam Newman, even before, knew each other before starting this WeWork company. And allegedly, they met at a bar first thing before all of this startup company even happened. And he also had a startup business before, so he had experience when it comes to entrepreneurship called Green Desk. So this he initiated or had the idea about this WeWork company, and the company before was called the Green Desk. And let's talk about the other minor characters who were involved in this scandal, who are Paul Aronzon, Alex Clavel, Paul Keglevic, Elizabeth Lapuma, Henry Miller, Vikas Parekh, David Tolley. These are basically all the board of directors that were involved in the WeWork financial scandal or were a part of this company. So let's talk about what happened. Like what happened during this operation. So like what I said before, Adam Newman is a really smart and very professional person, and that whenever he talks about something, he people believe him, people didn't doubt him, and people like him generally because of his business and his personality. However, during the operation or as the months and days goes by during this startup business, he started to show signs that he actually didn't know what he was talking about. So he was clueless or don't have the necessary or much knowledge about this startup. He was only good on providing the first impression. And then the valuation of the company grew questionable assumption. Just like what I said before, the company had 47 billion in value during 2019, which was very unrealistic during this time. Just in the span of 9 years, they grew that much value. So that made the people and the media like question them eventually. And also his poor financial decision and lavish lifestyle and excessive spending for his company was also the reason why people questioned this company and what made its downfall. And also, he was also allegedly involved in transportation of illegal substances across international border. So this was the ultimate sign how they got caught or like what was the reason why he was in the position of being questioned by the people. So what happened? So WeWork wasn't the first co-working business or company in the US or even in the world, but it had a valuation of $47 billion in 2019. However, Regis, now called International Workplace Group, was also similar to WeWork company with what they provide and what they sell, and they only had a market cap of 3.7 billion. So that comparison between the two, having $47 billion for a working space is very unrealistic and unattainable that made the people question it. And also, if the board of directors wasn't blinded by this false positivity or like what they could get from this startup business from WeWork, this wouldn't have happened. It would have been prevented. So, and also during the pandemic of COVID-19, we all know this that there was a virus that was spreading throughout the world during 2019 until 2022, even until 2023. And this company that focuses on providing workspaces, during this time, people didn't need that. People were advised to stay in their houses and work at home. So this was the major downfall of the WeWork company because people didn't need or didn't want workspace or office spaces during this time. So now let's talk about how they got caught. So with its questionable practices and spending of the people involved here, the board of directors of WeWork eventually became aware of the problem and forced Newman to resign as CEO and was taken over by a company called SoftBank. So eventually, the board of directors realized how this startup business is kind of becoming like a scam and a problem. Not really a scam, but like a problem, and how it's not going to be successful in the future. So Adam Newman was forced to resign. And because of Adam Newman's lavish lifestyle and commitment and mismanagement, the company still operated for a little time until it filed for bankruptcy. So, what were the penalties involved in his startup business? So, Adam Newman agreed to sell his stake in the company. He was sued by investors and also by the government, specifically the Securities and Exchange Commission. And so, right now, currently, he has a startup business that he is focusing on, which is called Flow. He wasn't arrested, but he had to pay fees and legalities because of his action or because of what happened with the WeWork company. And then on the other hand, his business partner, Miguel McKelvey, also stepped down from his role as co-CEO of the company. And finally, the other character, which is the board of directors, um, they were criticized for their failure to understand thoroughly the company's management. So they were criticized. However, unlike the two founders of the WeWork, which is Adam Newman and Miguel McKelvey, the board of directors were not penalized by the Securities and Exchange Commission. And that's the end of my report, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you.